Alright, so this is my VETT 222 class, or ClinPath class for video portfolio, task 1. This is preparing a serum and plasma sample. First thing you want to do is decide which vein you want to get your blood sample from, and we're going to use Garrett's jugular vein, which is going to run just laterally of the trachea. For supplies, I have a couple of blood tubes. I have a red top tube with no additive, or sorry, serum clot activator additive in there. Purple top tube, which is EDTA, and a serum separator tube. And the difference between these two is that one is the serum separator tube is red with yellow, and then the regular red top tube is just red and black. Sometimes they'll be red with black marbling, but it's essentially the same thing. And another difference is that, I don't know if you can see, but this one has that clotting gel at the bottom, and this has nothing. So, we also have a alcohol swab. We have a Sharpie to mark our blood samples. We have a 10 milliliter sterile syringe and a 20 gauge needle. So, if I can get this ready. I have gloves on, so that way I can get my sample as aseptically as possible. And I like to bend my needle to get a better angle on my sample. Alright, buddy. Good boy. I'm going to break my seal on this syringe. Alright, bud. Good boy. I'm just going to try to do this without any trauma to the vein, and without causing hemolysis to the sample. So if you hold that off for me. And the first thing I'm going to do is put it into my tube with the anticoagulant, and there is a marker right here. That's about how much blood you want to put in there. And I'm not going to push the plunger. The vacuette is going to pull the blood into the tube, and it's going to pull as much as it needs. The reason we don't push is because you don't want to cause hemolysis to the blood cells, and it's actually not pulling any more blood, even though that's where you want to put it. So, and I don't want to push any more in there, and I'm going to invert that a couple of times. I'm not going to shake it again to cause hemolysis. Next, I'm going to put it into my serum separator tube, and you want to put, this is going to ask for about that much blood. And again, it's not pulling anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and take my syringe out. I'm going to do the same thing. It's asking for about the same amount of blood.
Hello. What's wrong with Garrett?
I'm doing a video. And again, I'm not going to push any more blood in there, even though it's asking for that much, but the vacuum is not, or the tube is not, it's not pulling anymore, and I don't want to cause hemolysis to my sample. So, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to invert these all, and these two I'm actually going to allow sit for about 30 minutes before I centrifuge them, and I'm going to go ahead and label these. My handwriting is terrible. I'm going to date it. Alright, and that's, and that is essentially how you, and if I wanted to save this, I could just put it into another red top tube. But I think that we've got plenty of blood for our sample for as far as getting any plasma or serum from it. And like I said, let these sit for about 20-30 minutes, and then I'm going to centrifuge them, and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so our blood tubes have been sitting for about, for about 45 minutes, and on it a little bit, and so I'm going to go ahead and rim them in there before I put them in the centrifuge. Just to kind of shake up that clot a little bit in there. I'm just going to take the end of the cotton swab and just shake it loose. You can see it's right there. Shake it loose. Stop it back up. Then we'll find the tube that's about the same tube centrifuge it with. That's pretty good. And we'll balance it with it. Stick that in there. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, with the serum separator. You see it's, not even in the camera view. It's right there. Pretty close. We'll balance that one with it. Alright, and I'm going to centrifuge this for about 10 minutes on about, we usually do our centrifuging, it just marks between 1 and 5, or no, excuse me, 1 and 6. And it doesn't really say what that means. I'm assuming that is 1,000 to 6,000 RPM. So I'm going to put it be about 4, and about 2 to 4 for about 10 minutes. And it's kind of loud. And after 10 minutes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to harvest the serum and the plasma. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, it's actually been about 15 minutes. I let the blood spin down a little bit longer because sometimes 10 minutes just isn't long enough. And that could just be because I didn't have it going fast enough, because like I said, I had it on about 4,000 RPM for about 10 minutes. So sometimes if I were to, spin it faster, like maybe like 5,000, maybe for 10 minutes that probably would have sufficed, but I just let it spin for about 15 minutes on 4. But I'm waiting on it to spin down, or to finish spinning. I just turned it off, and I don't want to prematurely stop it, but I could if I wanted to. It wouldn't really make a whole lot of difference. But while I'm waiting on that to spin, or to finish spinning, so I got a I got 2 no additive vacuette tubes. It's either they're no additive because, well, A, they're white top tubes, and it actually says right here, no additive. I don't even know if that's too close or not. I don't think you can focus on this. But anyway, that says no additive. And I got a Sharpie to mark my tubes, and I've got a 1.5-inch 22 gauge needle to kind of reach down for my plasma, and then 3cc syringe. I actually need to go get another 3cc syringe. Oh, no I don't. I'll explain why in a minute. So those got done. So one of these for the plasma, I have to be very careful when I pick it up, because for the serum I can just dump it right out of the little tube, but the plasma I have to be careful when I pull it out, because if I were to dump it out, because it is not a serum separator, it'll actually just mix back into itself, which is kind of frustrating. So if I mix it back into itself again, I'll end up having to re-spin it down, and it's just frustrating. Just be careful when you go to harvest your plasma. For your serum, though, it's a lot easier. If you wanted to take a syringe and draw it up that way and put it into your tube, you could. But you really don't have to, because it's already separated. You get to essentially just pour it into your vacuette tube. So go ahead and get these out of here. Like I said, I have to be careful which one is which. I'm going to go ahead and get my plasma tube first. I'm going to get this ready. Like I said, I have to be careful when I get it out. I'm going to actually use this, it's actually a horse needle. It looks like it's about like a 16 or 18 gauge horse needle, but we use it just to kind of like stick the rubber in the tubes, just to be able to pull it out of these really, really deep tubes. I'm pretty sure this is it is. And like I said, you have to be very careful. As you can see, it's been separated. It looks a little cloudy. Just maybe a little lipemic. And I mean just a little. But I'm going to go ahead and put this down and get my tube ready. I'm going to do this carefully without mixing it up. And like I said, it's very frustrating if you were to mix that up. And have to spin it down again. So, sorry, you can't really see what I'm doing. Carefully, I'm going to unstopper this. Actually, it looks really good. And I'm going to just get just the plasma without getting any of those red cells at the bottom. Just as much as I can. That's actually really good. Now if I wanted to, I could spin this down a little bit longer to get absolutely as much as I could, because there's still a good bit in there that I could potentially, harvest. But I'm going to show you what I was talking about. Because there's nothing actually separating this, it's just a clotting factor. If I were to invert this, you see how it all of a sudden just kind of mixes back up with itself. Everything else, all those red blood cells are just kind of stuffed to the back. But if I were to let this sit for long enough, you can actually already see some of the cells come down with it. But it's very frustrating if you weren't expecting this to be just a regular red top tube, and you got to pull it out of that centrifuge and without realizing, and you just invert it. Ooh, that's frustrating. Especially if you have a time issue. So there's our plasma. That's harvested. Usually plasma we want to freeze. if we're ever doing, anything like that. Especially like for a clotting factor, if you have an animal that you think, oh god, they got into some rat poison or something like that. Usually we would use either, sometimes, depending on the test that you're running, you might do both citrate sodium, or sodium citrate tube, which is a blue top tube, and a red top tube. And you freeze it and then send it off to the lab to get tested for clotting factors. Anyway, so after I've harvested my plasma, I'm going to label it with the patient's name. And what this is plasma and today's date. And so that's good to go. Now I'm going to show you how you do your serum. And there's my serum separator tube. And that looks beautiful. So there's the gel separated. That's actually, or even like the buffy coat, if you will. It's, all of these are packed red cells. And this is, how would you describe it? These are all like the white blood cells and all that, packed down at the top, and then with the gel. And here's our serum. I can actually invert this and it's not going to mix up, which is, I love these. And I can unstopper this. If I wanted to, I could just stick a syringe in here and just suck up as much as I can. But it's a lot easier and a lot, you're able to, before I spill this everywhere, lay that down. It's a lot easier to just go ahead and pour it in. So you can get absolutely much of your sample as you can. That looks really good too. I don't know if you can really see, I don't have the white paper. It's actually a little hemolyzed. Just a touch, I would say. But it looks really good otherwise. And here's the plasma. It's essentially the same thing. It looks really good though. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess the back of the label on the red top tube made it look a little cloudy, so I think that's probably why I thought maybe it's just a little lipemic, but it's not. So it actually looks really good. Maybe just, like I said, just a touch hemolyzed, but maybe not enough to mess with our tests. But I'm going to go ahead and label this one with my Sharpie. And this one is serum. That you want to label everything, especially for these, especially if you're harvesting a plasma or serum for like large animals. Their serum, just because of their diet, is really icteric. And I say icteric loosely, just because of the fact that it is very, very yellow, and it looks like urine. So we actually sent some Hoggins to IDEX. Yeah, this is actually a horse. So you see the difference. See, it's a little yellowish compared to this. This is like actually plasma. Here's the serum. So you see the difference. This is actually serum from a horse, and this is serum from a dog. But you see how this is kind of yellowish, whereas this is kind of pink. I am going to name drop, like I said. We sent some syrup to IDEX, and I don't know what was going on that day, but whoever called us told us that they did not run the coffins because we sent the wrong sample, that we sent urine. I would assume that these people know what they're talking about, because this person who called us clearly did not. Large animal serum is yellow. So, we've had to make it a very big point that whenever we send in a Coggins serum sample, that we label it as such, a serum sample, even on the tube. Like you have to write serum sample. So that's why it's important to actually label what it is. Is it plasma or is it serum? So the difference between plasma and serum is that plasma is the liquid portion of the blood that liquid portion of the blood that has been separated from the red blood cells. I don't know what I wrote. The white blood cells and the platelets and all that. It's just the clotting factor has been removed. Like the fibrinogen. So that's the difference between plasma and serum. Well, let me rephrase. That's what plasma is. Serum is just the liquid portion of the blood separated from the rest of those, the solid parts of the blood. Like I said, I mean, it still has clotting factors in it, but plasma does not. So what would cause these to become lipemic or icteric or hemolyzed would be, so hemolyzed would be your sampling, your sample handling. If you are being like real vigorous with your, like, if I were to take, we're going to use this one, it's just water in here. So if I were to collect my sample and I'm like trying to mix it up, and I just do like this, trying to get it all mixed up, I could cause hemolysis. I'm literally destroying the cells in there. And, I mean, and the morphology of those cells start to get messed up. And if you were trying to use it on a blood machine, like say any one of like the VETT scans or Baxis stuff, they're not able to properly analyze the cells because they're just not, how am I trying to explain this? They're either clumped together because they're destroyed, and so you wind up with the size of your cells being a lot bigger than they're supposed to be, and it kind of throws the machine off thinking, hey, these cells are really, really big. Or no, not that they're really big. They're saying that there's not a lot of cells in there. No, there are. It's just that they're destroyed and they're all clumped together because that's just what they did. So they're not counting as many as they are, as they usually are, or as they're supposed to be. So that's why it's important not to shake your sample. You just gently invert it, mix it up, and be gentle with it. Kind of treat it like a baby. And then the reason that samples can be lipemic could be that your patient wasn't properly fasted at least 12 hours before the sample was taken. I'm surprised that my sample was not lipemic, considering we just fed our patient just before we got it, which I know is not ideal, but we needed the sample. So, just if the patient, because the patient had just eaten, because the patient just ate, you could potentially run into lipemia because of all the fat in the patient's bloodstream. And that's what lipemia is. It's just fat in the blood. And that can mess with your blood tests because it can raise some of the proteins, kind of skewing the results a little bit, like amylase and lipase. So it's not ideal to get your blood from a patient who hasn't been properly fasted. And then icterus, that's where like I said before, the sample is a little yellow. That could indicate some liver issues. That could skew the test results as far as like the BUN. Right? I could have that wrong. But anyway, it could skew the results again with like the different proteins, why they could be skewing, like either be elevated, like really, really high, or really, really low. So it's if these samples were taken and the tests were still run on them, you need to take those factors into account for why some of the proteins and some of your levels would be out of whack. But that is essentially how you harvest plasma and serum. Serum isn't too important to refrigerate, but it is best to refrigerate it. Plasma, like I said before, you can refrigerate it. It's probably best to freeze it, especially if you're going to use it for clotting factors. But it really just depends on what test you're going to run, or according to what the diagnostic lab wants you to do. Just, refer back to them, ask them, what do you need me to do? Most of your books will tell you this is exactly what you need to do, this is the tubes that they need to be put in. So that's essentially it.